Hi, welcome back. In our last video, we completed the Node.js backend part. In this video, I'm going to start the front-end application with the Angular. So first, what you're going to do is go back to my project. This is my project. Here, in this folder, I'm going to create new folder, Node Node projects. Okay, now this folder, uh, Node new project, this one, right? This is my, I have created the folder, right? So this one I just cut off this one and paste it inside this folder, because this one should be the our backend. So we have to name it as, this one should be the backend. I name it as this one, rename it as backend. Now I am going to, this is no our Node.js backend. I'm going to make the front end with the Angular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, I'm going to create the front end application. So you have to write cmd. Here I'm going to go to the Angular respective side, Angular. You type Angular, go to the Angular, this one, get started Angular. So here what I'm going to do is get started. Here I'm going to install the Angular CLI. Simply you have to, rather than coming like this, you simply you type on the Google here Angular CLI. So you have to easily find the installation part. Angular CLI, right? Command, which will be help you to install, right? Now here you will be getting this page. You just copy this one and paste it over here where you are going to install this one inside Node project. Press enter key. It takes some time to configure things, configure the project, right? Here I have configured the Angular CLI. Now I'm going to install the new project. So here this is the command. Just copy this one. You have to change the project's name here. I haven't changed, so I'm going to change this one. So here I'm going to change the command. New, this one should be, I'm going to say my frontend. You just name the name is frontend, my frontend, or you have to write frontend. Frontend name, I'm going to this project name, right? Right. Press enter key. Now you have to wait until the project has been created. It asks to install the Angular Y. Here you have to select the SCSS. Okay. Now you have to wait until the installation completed. Here my installation has been completed. Now I'm going to open the project on the VS Code editor. Right. So here let's go to my project. Now here my front end application is installed. Right. It's a backend. It's a front end. Right. It's a backend. We have a front end. Front end we have to open on the VS Code editor, cmd code space dot. It will be open up your VS Code editor, right? Now when I run the application, so how to run the application on Angular, you have just type the command ng-serve. If you type the command, your project is initialized and run your project. Okay, you have to wait till the project is running. But you can see here, this is your app. Okay, here in Angular, you can see this is a main file, index.html. Here inside the body, it's called app root. Here app root is coming from here, app content.ts. Here you can see the app root here. So here this file is running. So this is the selector, right? It is selector as, here you can see component.html, component.css, this one, these two files. This is the HTML file, this is, so these both are controlling in this app root folder, right? This app root. Okay, so here, okay, right? This is the selector, the selector where it will be working, right? So here, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to, when the project is running, now let's see, I have already run the Angular project, right? So it will be running. So when the Angular project is running, it shows the output in the index component, right? This is the index, this is the HTML file, as well as this is a CSS file. This is a CSS file. What is the CSS return? It will be applying, right? This is the HTML file. They all the things are written, so that the CSS file they are not written. It's defaultly created. The HTML, all the part is written in the HTML file in Angular, right? So let's now here my project is running. Now here we have to just copy and paste it over here. Press enter key. Now you can see the front end. Okay, the simple front end you will be able to see, right? So here we will be change the things, right? So let's back to my project. So here my project is running. So here my project Angular project is running. Now what I'm going to do is I just I going to go to the again go here. I'm going to get another terminal. This terminal I'm going to create the component, new component. I'm going to create ng uh, generate component. This one G mean generate, C mean component. Here student Crud. Press enter key. Now you have to wait until now here the component has been created successfully. Now here let's back to my project. This is my project, right? Here this is the project. Okay, now here my component is created. This is a component which I created, right? So here first what I'm going to do is this component I'm going to this is a newly created component, right? This here you can see this component as a HTML file, CSS, SCSS file, and TS file. CS file, this TS file which used to write the logic of the program. So here we have to design the program, right? So here I'm going to call this one in my app component.html. So I just control A to select all this one. Press delete key. Now here I'm going to call this component, right? So you have to component, you have to call student Crud. Call the component, right? You have to call the component. Then you have to test whether it's working fine or not. You have to save all. Student Crud. So you have to copy this one. Any problem with this? Here it's called like this. Copy it. You have to go to the TS file and copy it. You have to copy it here like this. Now you can see the output. Here student can Crud works. Now here where I'm going to design the form design and everything. Right. Now what I'm going to do is here. First I'm going to go to I have created a component. It will work. I'm going to install the Bootstrap. npm install I Bootstrap. Type and install. After that, my Bootstrap is installed successfully. After that, what you are going to do is go to my project. This is my project. Here I'm going to go to the Node modules folder. Here you will be able to see the Bootstrap. Here Bootstrap is installed, right? This path we have given here as my main file, which is the CSS main file. You have to give here as the style.scss. Here where you can import the style. So you have to write import Bootstrap is located where here reside on the our node modules folder. That path I have given here. Bootstrap here. Okay, this is a folder. Inside this folder it is reside. Bootstrap.css, right? That's it. That's the thing you have to give, right? After that, we have to go to the HTML file. Here we have to do the things, right? So we have to go to Bootstrap implementation. So type to Google Bootstrap implementation. Bootstrap implementation. Introduction Bootstrap. Here we have to sorry, not Bootstrap instead, Bootstrap forms. You have to get the form here. So simple form. I just copy this one, copy it back here, paste it over here. Now here what I'm going to do is here I'm going to type it. Here this one should be there. name. This one we don't need them. This one we have to remove them. Only keep button. Okay, this only design we need, right? This is to close this. We don't need them. Here name. Here name. Here text. This one should be the text. Name. Enter the name. Copy, paste it below. This one should be address. Address. Copy, paste below. This one should be phone. Phone. Copy, paste it over here, right? This is the thing you have to do it, right? After that, let's add the div above here, right? Div class empty here card. You have to add this one. So here I'm going to close the div. You have to close the div here. Close 2 times, right? Here we have to add the divs 2 times over here. This is adding empty here. This is simple form I have created, right? So let's save our and check whether this form is working or fine. Here it's working. Now it's working. Now here this is the simple registration form we have get. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to what you're going to do is we have done the stuff. So after that, what you're going to do is here I have to add these things. Okay, the ng models, right? So here we are. I'll be explaining this. Okay, you have to add the ng models. Ng model. Here this one should be the name. We didn't create the name in our logic. Okay, I want to create, right? Ng model option. This is the option which will be when you type the this one we don't need it, right? If you type the name on this particular input box, the name will be stored in the ng model. Okay, this ng model, the name should be stored. Okay, that's the purpose of storing the ng model, right? Now what you're going to do is you have to go to the employee create ts file. Here is the file where we have to write the logics, right? So what I'm going to do is here go here, write the logic. Right now what I'm going to do is here I have to create the variables. You have to create the variables. Okay, this variable, how to create the variable here, variable name, data type, right? That's why you have to create the variable. You have first variable name. This one should be the address, phone. The phone number we didn't do any validation part, so we have to keep as string, right? These 3 variables we have to create. Okay, these 3 variables we have to set here as a ng model, right? So what this error showing here? Here we have to go to the app module ts file. You have to import the 2 things. First one is a HTTP client. HTTP client, the form data form module. After that you have to write HTTP it is not imported. When you're doing the form validation, you have to import that particular packages, right? So we have to done this here. ts file, these 2 things, the employee HTTP client model. Okay, so you have to write like this. You have to put it over here. And say near the namespace couldn't import. Sometimes it imported, sometimes it's not important. If it is not important, you have to write like this. This is reside on the import HTTP client model from Angular common HTTP. This is the file where it will be decided. Okay, sometimes it will be important, sometimes it not important. So you have to give the path, then only the error go away. If you write like this, you have to access the RESTful API. If you import the package, if you import a form model, you can create the form and use it. Right now here the error go away. Here you can see now the error go away. Okay, that's the thing you have to do it. Right, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is do it here. We done the thing so far. Now let's go to my employee create ts file. Now here what I'm going to do is here I'm going to go to my I'm going to go to my ts file, my heading part, register part. Okay, register part, I'm just copy this one. I'm going to explain, don't worry about that. So if I return and explain, take too much of time to complete the project, right? I will be explained, don't worry. Okay, right? So let's create this as well. Constructor, this private, this XML, this thing as well. This constructor. You have to write like this: constructor private HTTP. This one, you have to import the package HTTP client. Right, this module we at the moment we don't need them. Right here, this is the you have to import this one. Constructor, right, the constructor private HTTP client. Right. So here, if you are decline HTTP client, then only the RESTful API will be works. Right. So after the first time, I'm going to register the form. You have to create the method register, open bracket and close bracket. So here, what are the things you have to create? Name, address. What are the field you have created? Name, address, phone number. Only three fields. Very simple adding system, this one. So here's a name, address, phone. These are the fields in my database, right? Okay, these are the fields are there, right? Okay, I already show you in my Postman. These are the fields in the database. This is a form. So when you go to the form, student form, these are the forms. Name, address, and phone. The same field on here, right? This is the form data. This is the data which is in the database table, right? So here, go to the now here this one you have commented. So here the get all things we will see in my next video tutorial. Now here, if the request is coming, here this request we already saw in our Postman. This is the port. This is a user creation. This one should be you go to the server. This is a server. So I mean this is Nodejs. Okay, when the request is coming via the front end. Okay, this is a user request coming via the front end, right? It goes to the backend here. Routes create here. Routes create. It will be passing the request to controller. Controller will be passing the request to service. Service is the part passing the request to model. Model is added the data into the database. That's how this works, right? So here, one thing I have to do it. So the server, sorry. So here, what you are going to do is here just not this line added, right? So here, use wait. Right. You can use this one server.use cross. This one we have to implement that above here, right? Not here, no here. This one should be there is an issue with the server communicated the front end and back end. There should be the error will be displayed. So to avoid these things we have to do it this one, right? Some server error will be displayed. Okay. So the browser problem, that kind of error will be displayed. So that we have to call this one cross this one. The browser error will be displayed. So we have to write call before that. Before display the JSON, we have to call this like this, right? So after that, we have to save all. Let's go back to my server. I'm going to running. Okay, the server I'm going to running. So just running the server first. This is server. Your backend. You go to your project folder. Where's your project we have created? We have created the project folder E. This one, this project folder. Here is a backend. Backend you have to type here as CMD. You have to open up your So you have to run the server first. So how to run the server? Node server.js. First you have to run the server. After that, our server is running. My already running my project. Okay, so I already running my project. Server is running. You can see you get the messages here. Server is running. Then you can do the things. Go here. This is employee registration. Okay. Now I'm going to enter the registration as James, address India, phone number 121213, like this. Click submit button. Student register successful. Now here the field is clear, right? That's the thing we have to write over here. When the registration successfully, you can see the this dot name should be, this field should be clear, address field should be clear, and phone number should be clear. This is how we have written the things, right? So how this works I already taught. This is a registration form. You have to fill the name, will be passing the ng model, address you have to typing passing an ng model, form. This all things are stored here. When you click register button, this all the fields are coming to my ts file. Here it will be passing to the form data to, this is the columns. So it goes to the, this call the column setting and to putting to the this body data to the along with this request. Then it will be go to that particular URL and add the data into the database. After that, it will pass in the message as student register successfully. Thank you for watching. In my next video tutorial, I will be teach how to view the data into the table. Thank you.